okay, so I thought it worthwhile doing another one. Mainly because this time I'm actually in the crew area, so I can just go over things pretty easily. I'm on a small break. Now, I thought I would go through kind of what's expected of us when you're on board. So when we do back of house tours where we're taking people through crew areas and we're showing them little bits and bobs and things like that, we also, well, I try to, at least when I'm doing those tours, is go through rest times, contracts and stuff, and I try to at least give people an opportunity to get an idea of what it's like being a crew member on board. So we have certain rest times that are managed by the MCA, which is the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency. So the Maritime Coast Guard Agency will then track whether we're in violation of our rest times or not. So you need a certain amount of rest time before every shift. So it gives us the opportunity to at least have that welfare side to it, which crew definitely need. It's the same across all ships, because they have to abide by certain measures for crew, which is fair enough. This does go in line with our contractual obligations as well. So when we sign a contract to come on board, there is a certain amount of working hours, as they put it. So for me, I do 9 working hours, but that includes passenger time as well. So of course I work in the hotel department, so I'll be doing the passenger facing side to it, so desk hours are included in that. But then when we close the desk areas, we then go into the office, and then we're there for say 2 hours, 3 hours extra sometimes, just doing certain things that we need to do to set up for next cruise, or to set up for the day after, or just last minute changes or manifests or stuff like that to the agents. So all these things need to be accounted for when we're then kind of going back and forth from being desk open to out in the office doing our own thing. So that 9 hours will cover absolutely all of that. So when we then finish, we clock out, that's our rest periods, then we come back in the next day, all over again, clock back in. It's only when you go over that time frame of it, when you're then clocking out, and it'll tell you you're in violation, which means then you can't, because you can't get the time back. It's very important that you clock out and have that rest period that you need, and they take it very seriously on board, especially when I've spoken to other staff members, other heads of department. They take it very seriously, just making sure that all crew members do get their adequate rest times, because at the end of the day it's an exhausting day. When you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it's an exhausting day. When you find people on social media put about ship life and it's about holiday, well, it seems like a holiday, because you get video footage, you get photos of them in a different country, having a cocktail, having a good time, and you find that it's not actually like that, because it's very exhausting, it's very intense, and I think people get the wrong idea about it. A staff member just walked past, so I thought I'd just pause for a second. Yeah, so people don't quite understand or quite realise how intense it is to do this job for 4 months, 6 months non-stop. So rest times are required. So, but also, like I say, when people post on social media or post photos online, it all looks very fancy, it all looks very beautiful, and it's not quite like that, because when you think about it day to day, the ports are great, but when you think about it day to day, there are other things that people don't quite take into consideration in terms of the amount of time you're working, the amount of guest facing or passenger facing operations there are, but also taking in that rest as well, because your social battery can just go from one extreme to the other. So it's that thing of keeping charge of that. I think most crew members manage it pretty well, but yeah, hotel operations side to it, rest times are a massive thing. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much more really to cover, but I thought just that little bit gives a lot of information regards like not just the good bits of being on board and being in a different place every other day and being in a nice place like Spain or Portugal or Canaries. Although you do get that and that's beautiful, you do have that other aspect to it where you are working most days, if not every day, and that's your contract to work pretty much every day, guest facing or not. You're in certain areas, certain departments where rest time is required. So it's just that thing of it's hard work and it's intense. So it's one of them things, I guess, if you're looking to come on board ships and work, it's not all sunshine and rainbows as they put it. It's a beautiful experience, it's brilliant, but there's also that aspect to it that you need to know where if you are going to come on board and work, go for it. You'll have the time of your life, but also there is those contractual obligations of rest time as well as work time, and that can come in a variety of different forms. So it's worthwhile noting, keeping into consideration. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my break and just relax before I go back to the desk hours. But yeah, take care, and see you on the flip side.